So the other day, I released a video on cracking WPA2 passwords and how we can go about getting the four-way handshake and then running it against a word list and see if we can come up with the password. Now I also showed how difficult it would be depending on the length of the password and if they're using uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers and special characters, that sometimes it's impractical. It can take you years, or if you're lucky, sometimes you'll get it in a word list in a matter of minutes, hours, or whatnot. This tutorial is going to be on exploiting WPS, which is implemented in some routers out there. It's 100% guaranteed as long as WPS is not locked. The way it works is it goes about cracking an 8-digit PIN. Now, what the vulnerability is the router tells you if you have the first 4 digits of the PIN that are correct. So once you get these, it's pretty much like a checkpoint. So you can save the first 4 digits and then continue on with the next 3, because the last digit is a checksum and it's easily calculated. So by taking it from 8 digits down to 4 digits, there's only a 10,000 possibility of combinations of numbers. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you how we can implement this and how we can get the password. A good thing about this is if they change their password and you rerun this attack, seeing that we already know the PIN now, we can cut it down to a few seconds and you can get the password right away that they changed. So we'll go ahead and we'll open up a terminal. And yet again, I'm going to assume that you're running Kali Linux and that you do have a card that's capable of packet injection. Okay, so we'll start by putting our card into monitor mode. We can do that with a command called aircrack-ng, which will view our interface. So mine's WLAN 0. If yours is different, you'll have to substitute it for this command. So aircrack-ng start and then your interface. So WLAN 0. Okay, so as you can see here, we have our interface started, mon 0, and then we get a warning here saying that a few services that are running may cause us some issues. So we can go ahead and we can kill those just so we don't run into problems later on. Okay, and once we have this done, sometimes I get this. I have no such process running when I'm trying to kill the DHC client. Sometimes it kills successfully. Either way, you're good to go from here on out and you shouldn't have any problems. So now that we're in monitor mode, we can view the wireless traffic that's around us and start scanning for routers that have WPS implemented and that aren't locked. So we can do that with a command called wash. So now, when you're running the command wash, you may get this this warning saying coming up, the frame checksum error, and it just goes up the screen. If you get that, you can use the -C command, uppercase C, and that will get rid of it for you. So we'll go ahead and run wash -I, and then our interface, mon 0. Alright, so I set up another router just because my router with the security stuff, it locks out WPS, so the attack is pretty much useless against it after that. I'll have one here that says hack me, so that's the one we're going to go after. Just another Linksys router that I have laying around, so we'll use that. So we'll open up another terminal and we'll start running Reaver against that access point to get the password. Alright, so Reaver has a few options here that I'll leave to you to go through. There's going to be a couple of them that I'll use that I'll explain as I go through, but that's pretty much about it. So we're going to go Reaver -I, our interface, mon 0, -B, so then we'll copy in the BSSID or the access point's MAC address. Put that in here. And then we're going to use -D. -D, if I can find it in here. It's a delay in between pin tries. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yes, delay in seconds. So the default delay is 1 second. I'm going to up that just to 30, just so gives the access point a little more time to relax in between, so it just doesn't get hammered, and you know, it can relax. -S, it's going to uppercase S. It's going to send a small DH keys, so it should improve cracking speed. And then -N, which is it's going to send no knack. So sometimes what happens is the router will just be spitting out M1 packets, M1, 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 and then when Reaver goes to send an M2 packet and it receives an M1 packet, it pretty much gets kind of confused, and it's going to drop the connection and redo the whole process. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have it send out knacks, so we can try to avoid this. Other than this, there is a -A option which will choose the best settings auto for the target AP, but I'll let you go ahead and mess around with that. And then VV is very verbose. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to see everything in the terminal window that's happening. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit enter. Okay, so I have tried this in just before here. So you can continue, which is nice with Reaver. You can continue the attack later on, since it does take quite a while to complete. So I'll go no, and I'll restart my own attack. Now to stop the attack, you just hit Control-C, and then when you come back, boot up Kali Linux again. If you put in the same MAC address, it doesn't have to be the exact same options for performing the attack. It just has to be the same MAC and stuff like that. It will ask you if you'd like to start back up from where you left off, so 50%, 80%, or whatnot, just in case you have to power down your computer and take off. So right now it's just trying to associate with the access point, and it has, so it has successfully. If you're having problems associating, you can open up Air Replay and associate that way. To view on how to do that, you can just watch one of my other videos on cracking WEP or WPA, WPA2, and the whole association stuff is in there. You can just take a quick look, come back, and apply it here. So what it's doing is it's tried the pin, and these are the M1, M2, M3 packets that I was talking about, and it's going to have a 30-second delay in between. So as you can see, we've tried the first pin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, and now we're going to try the next one. And then this is going to continue on, one after another, until it finally guesses the right WPS key, and it's going to spit out the WPA password for us. Now, you may get an error here, error code, I think it's 0x02, and stuff like that. If it continues on, good, great. Just leave it as long as it's trying new pins. Sometimes it gets stuck on there. Sometimes the error code is 0x03, and they just get locked out after you've tried so many incorrect keys. It's just the router may just stop you. Unfortunately, from there you can try increasing delay times or other options in Reaver. Or what may happen is you may just have to, bite the bullet and move on to the next access point. While Reaver is running, you can rerun wash and see if the WPS here has turned into locked. So as you can see here, Stevie Nicks, his WPS is locked, so he's a no-go. And it shows you the WPS version, the power, so your signal strength of the access point, and then the channel that it's running on. If it's saying anything about channels in Reaver, you can use the -C option and just specify. Some routers will hop channels. Reaver is set that it will hop channels automatically, but if you know that the access point is on one specific channel, you can use the -F and just have a fixed channel. But like I said, I'll let you go through and do that stuff and play around with it with yourself. As you can see here, I've done 0.05%, 30 seconds per key, as I think that's what I set it for. Yet the delay is 30 seconds, and it's just going to continue on and on and on until it gets it. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video from here. It is pretty much 1:15 in the morning. What I'll probably do is I'll just let it go overnight, and I'll come back in the morning and I'll show you what it looks like when we finally get the key. Okay, so we can see that the WPS pin has been successfully cracked as I left it overnight. We have the pin right here, and then the WPA password. WPA2 would be the exact same thing. And as you can see, it's very, very long, complex, uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Now, for the average computer, you probably would never be able to crack this, or it'd take you years. And then we have the SSID, or the wireless access point's name, hack-me. So now that we have all this information, we can go ahead and we can start up our networking services again. I have a little script here just called service config, which starts it up for me. As I'm making videos, the less typing I have to do, the better. But in that case, I will show you what you should type in to restart everything. We can type in service networking start, and then service network -manager start. And then once you do that, you'll have the computer back up here in the corner where we can view the wireless networks and we can connect again. So we'll go ahead and we'll find hack-me, and we'll attempt to connect to it. So we'll copy in the password. Now notice that I am not using these single quotes. I'm leaving those out. Those are not part of the password. So we'll paste that in here. I can show you the password. There it is. And then we can hit connect. And we should successfully be able to connect to the access point at this point. So we'll give it a second as it's working up here in the corner. And there we have it. Connection established. You have now connected to the wireless network hack-me, which is a little bit off the screen, but you get what I'm saying. So now that we have the WPS pin, even if the person of this access point goes, oh geez, I have to change my network password, something's going on, we can easily get it back in a matter of seconds. So to show you this, I'll go into the router and I'll change the password, and then we can run the attack again. So admin and admin. It's just default on this router as it's not connected to the internet, and I'm not really worried about security issues. So we'll go wireless security, and load for me here. Alright, here we go. And we'll get rid of this password. We'll change it to this. There we go. This is my new password. We can click save. And then on Windows, sometimes it gives you the little pop-up saying, your new settings have been saved successfully. In Kali Linux, I haven't noticed that. I just get this little thing up in the corner running, and then eventually it boots me off the network because I no longer have the correct password. So we can go, alright, as you can see here, we're no longer connected, and it's going to ask us to insert the password once again. So what we can do now to get the password that the owner or the administrator of the access point has changed is we can rerun Reaver with the WPS pin, and it should spit us out the password right away. So as you can see here, it's asking again. So I hit cancel. We'll go Reaver-I, and then our interface, mon0-b, and I still have the BSSID right here. So I'll copy that back in, paste, and then we're going to use the -p. Now we haven't used this yet before, but this is what this is telling Reaver to do, is to use this specific pin on your try. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead, we're going to copy, and we'll paste that in here, and then we'll do very verbose so you can see what's going on. Okay, so it's associating with the access point, and then it's going to try this pin. So we'll give it a second. Okay, and as you can see here, We've tried it with our PIN, and we've received the new password in a matter of seconds instead of hours now. So we can copy this back in and pretty much reconnect to the network once again. And there you have it. So that's how to crack WPA2 passwords through exploiting WPS. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.